Hello everyone. Now we're starting a chapter number 2, that is solid state switching circuits. In this chapter we already discussed about what is switching circuits. That is the switching circuit, a circuit which current in an electric circuit is known as a switching circuit. So it has mainly two parts. First, a switch, and second is an associate circuit. Switch, that is we call as the most important part of the switching circuit, which is actually makes or breaks the electric current to the circuit. Second part, that is associate circuit. The working of the associate circuit, which is help to switch in, turning on or off the current to the circuits. So these two will combine and makes the circuit. That circuit is called as a switching circuit. The circuit which is consists of switch with the associate circuit. Purpose of switch is to makes or breaks the electrical current. The function of the associate circuit, which is help switch to turn on or off the current in the circuit. But it is most important to use the associate circuit with the switch. It's not only the switch is a main device. Yes, switch is a main device, but it is worth to use an associate circuit with this. Let's have an introduction to the switch. So what is switch? Switch is a device, that can turn on or off the current in the electrical circuit. Which can turn on or off the current in the electrical circuit. One of the most part of the switching circuits, and which is broadly classified into three types: a mechanical switch, electromechanical switch, or we call today that is relay, and last one is an electronic switch. As the name of the chapter is a solid state switching circuit, so this is the in this chapter we are deals with the electronic switches only, which are made up of using the transistors, but have a small introduction to mechanical switch. What is mechanical switch? A switch which is operated mechanically to turn on or off the current in the electrical circuit are known as a mechanical switch. There are we can mechanically can turn on and off the current to the electrical circuits. One of the familiar example of this is a tumbler switches that we are using in the homes, or we are using in our homes, that is to use to turn on or off the power supply to the our various appliances such as fans, heaters, bulbs, and etc. See, as shown in the figure, this is one of the figure for the mechanical switch. See, the one switch as is connected in series with the battery, as well as the load, that is R. See, as long as the switch S is open, there will be no path for the current to flow. So there is no current in the circuit. When the switch will be closed, a current will establish in the circuits, and the whole current will flow through the load as well as the switch. So this is the mechanical switch. We are mechanically operate the turn on and off the power to the electrical circuit. But today's we are now will be moved towards the electronic switch because of the number of advantage of it. So limitation of the mechanical switch is that what? See, as shown in the figure, the whole current will flow through the switch as well as the load. So we can say that whenever the switch is in closed position, this whole load current will flow through the switch. So for a large load current, the switch may damage, or we can say is that we have to mat the contact will be heavy. Contact will be heavy, and this will be increase the size of the switch. This will increase the switch of the size of the switch. Sometimes, as we say, that the load current will be circuit will be very large. There will be a spark will be produced in the contacts, and that will be result in the wear and tear of the contact. Then the speed of operation is very small. Speed of operation is very small. So we still, because of this somewhat limitation, we are not preferring the mechanical switches. Let's have an introduction to the electronic switches. That is, it is a switches, or it is a device which can turn on or off the current in the electrical circuit with the help of electronic devices. It is a device which can turn on or off a current in the electrical circuit with the help of the electronic devices. That electronic devices most probably are using as transistors or tube devices. Transistors or a tube devices. One of the very popular type of the switches because of its high speed operation. Because of its high speed operation. Then, as having the high speed of operation, there will be a low absence of the sparking is also there. But how we can use transistor as a switch? We know very well there will be a number of regions in the transistors are the cutoff region, saturation region, and between the cutoff and saturation there will be active regions. So the cutoff and the saturation are called as a stable region of the transistor. They are called as a stable region of the transistor. And if we can driving transistor between saturation and cutoff, if we're driving the transistor and the saturation and cutoff, it means a back and forth between the saturation and cutoff, then transistor can be work as a switch. Then transistor can work as a switch. Otherwise, it is little bit, we cannot say the switch if it is operated in the active stage, because active is a region in which a transistor can drive from the cutoff to saturation and saturation to cutoffs. So that's why we are not preferring the active stage and the switches. We are preferring two stages in the switch, that is saturation and active, because they are the stable states of the transistors. They are the stable state of transistors. So this is about the switch, that is we call as a mechanical switch, electromechanical switch, and electronic switches. In this chapter, we are going to mainly deals with the electronic switches. That is, we are mainly deals with the transistor. Mainly deal with the transistors. So, thank you.